Today on Movie Man, we're heading deep into the Oregon woods, where family bonding, cabin fever, and full body hair loss collide in a horrifying tale of transformation, trauma, and tooth loss. Yes, it's like The Fly, but make it furry. The Beast Within, explained. We open in 1995. Grunge is king, the X-Files are peaking, and a random hiker goes missing in the Oregon mountains, because of course they do. This is Oregon. If the wilderness doesn't get you, the boutique coffee shops will. We then meet baby Blake and his dad Grady, aka Steroid Ron Swanson, on a hunting trip. While bonding over killing woodland creatures, they spot a humanoid freak in the trees. So naturally, they do what any father and son would do: panic, hide in a glorified treehouse and pretend everything's fine. Cue 30-year time jump. You know, classic, trauma ages you like milk, transition. Now Blake's all grown up and living in San Francisco with his daughter Ginger and workaholic wife Charlotte, who looks like she's one coffee spill away from snapping and ending a marriage. One day, Blake receives a "congratulations, your dad is probably dead" letter, with keys to his childhood home attached. He sees this as a great time for a healing family vacation, in the exact woods where his dad went. Mia. Genius. This man watched The Ritual and said, "Let's do that." While asking for directions like it's 1992, they meet a local named Derek, a man with "dies horribly" written across his forehead. Derek leads them into the forest just as the sun dips, because nothing bad has ever happened after dusk in a horror movie. Suddenly, bam, the SUV gets sideswiped by a forest cryptid, Derek's yanked into the trees like he's auditioning for The Descent 3, and Blake gets scratched on the arm. Never a good sign in a creature feature. If you get scratched, you either die, mutate, or both. Blake hustles the family to the cabin, barricades the door, and begins his slow descent into lycanthropy. First signs: sweating like a boil in the bag dinner, losing teeth, noise sensitivity, and oh yeah, growing claws and fur. By the way, props to Charlotte, who's holding the fort while her husband turns into a literal dog man. She even clocks the monster with a hammer after it reaches through the pet door and tries to leg snatch Blake. Home Depot, sponsor this queen. Things get gnarly fast. Blake can't speak, understand language, or use utensils. He starts gnawing his own arm like it's beef jerky and by now has enough loose teeth to fund a dentist's summer home. Hair's falling out, claws are growing in. It's Teen Wolf meets an American werewolf in London, minus the laughs and 80s synth. Charlotte finds an old truck and tries to escape, but the beast isn't having it. It smashes the windshield like it just got bad DoorDash service, and the family retreats to a greenhouse. In a rare act of heroism, Blake lures the monster away. He's still got some humanity left, just not enough to keep his intestines from vomiting up a severed finger later. Delicious. Now fully beast mode, Blake stumbles back to the house and confronts his terrified wife and daughter. It's not great when your dad looks like a Wookiee having a stroke. But then, twist, another creature attacks, and Blake kills it with his teeth. Hardcore. And guess what? The other monster is his dad, Grady, the Og werewolf. This is what happens when family vacations go unsupervised for 30 years. Also, Grady has a tattoo, so you know it's official. Now it's tragic werewolf showdown time. Blake's too far gone, so he flees into the woods, where Charlotte and Ginger hide in the same elevated hunting blind from the start of the movie. Full circle, baby. Blake sniffs them out, literally, and climbs up, looking like a diseased Bigfoot. Charlotte points a rifle at him. He stops. They share a look. He wants it to end. She obliges. Boom. Tragic. Brutal. Cathartic. They hold him as he dies, and as the sun rises, they emerge from the forest, shell-shocked but alive, looking at the same valley Blake once described as a kid. Roll credits. Now go cry. So what did we learn? 1. If a hiker vanishes in Oregon, just assume werewolves. 2. Trauma. Hereditary. So is fanged mutation. 3. Nothing good comes from pet doors, ever. This movie mixes the body horror of The Fly, the tragic descent of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the forest creepiness of The Ritual. And yes, we got an American Werewolf in Portland vibes, only this one ends on a heartbreakingly hairy note. Also, shout out to Charlotte for being the real MVP. She deserves a vacation in Hawaii and a restraining order from Mother Nature. If you liked watching a man turn into a werewolf while emotionally wrecking his family, and somehow still rooting for him, then you'll love more creature features we cover here on Movie Man. Don't forget to like, scream, and subscribe. Until next time, stay out of the woods, don't trust pet doors, and if your dad went missing in the mountains, maybe just leave him there.